What is mental health? What does mental health mean to you? What about the average person on the street? Well, we took to the streets of Newcastle to find out.
When you hear the term mental health issues, what do you think?
I generally think about getting information out to people, helping them diagnose themselves, or at least get the confidence to go and seek professional diagnosis. It feels a lot more encouraging people to talk about it, rather not necessarily just the services, but encouraging that conversation. I think we're very lucky in that we're in one of the first generations to be able to talk about it quite openly and discuss it. I think the stigma's gone away, certainly for us, and now it's just encouraging other generations to do the same.
Okay, so when you hear the term mental health issues, what do you think?
I don't know, quite negatively, I guess. Negative stigma around it.
Okay, so what type of stigma do you refer to?
I'm not really too sure. I guess around kind of like vulnerableness, I guess. Yeah, the main thing that comes to mind would be like depression. I guess that's what I know most people have, kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you hear the term depression, what comes to mind in that regard?
Sadness, I don't know how to answer that really.
Do you know anybody who's suffered from mental health issues?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you find that they are able to talk about it, or?
Yeah, mostly keeping quiet. Because there's a guy as well, so like obviously there's that whole issue. But yeah, quite quiet about it, not very open at all.
Yeah. When you hear the term mental health issues, what do you think?
An illness, like a physical illness.
When you hear depression, what symptoms do you think that means?
I guess it depends. There's like quite a big sliding scale. I suppose anything from feeling down, not kind of enjoying things that you normally do, to not being able to get out of bed in the morning, not being able to communicate with other people.
What about the term anxiety? What do you think?
Feeling stressed about things, not being able to deal with things in a rational way that you might not be able to.
When you hear the term mental health issue or mental health issues, what do you think?
Honestly, I don't have much information. I don't know enough about it, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously it's quite a serious issue. I understand that. I understand that people don't understand it enough, myself included. But I don't know enough about it to really comment.
When you hear a term like depression, that someone's suffering from depression, what comes to mind?
Comes to mind is my dad, who does have, depression in a sense. It is more of a physical thing than I think people think. Everyone thinks it's just feeling a bit sad, feeling a bit down for themselves, but it does really affect him physically as well as mentally. So it is. So that's what it is more a physical disease than people think, I think.
Right. And do you think enough is being done around mental health issues to support people?
No, I think always more can be done.
When you hear the term mental health issues, what do you think?
Crazy people. And I know it's much more common than we think, but we tend to think of people in institutions. Psychiatric is immediate connection, I'd say.
So when you hear the word depression, what do you think?
Depression is different in the sense that I experience it much more frequently than psychopaths. In that sense, so when I just said, the mental health issues is psychopath, it's like psychopaths. Depression is obviously something that you find much more frequently in the workplace, but also in family members. Yeah, I think we forget how common it is and how much we need to reduce that stigma. And I think the government plays a very good role in that to make sure that people change their opinion on it, and it becomes much more acceptable to be home, to have a depression, or to be home, be overworked, or to be stressed, or even to be bipolar. I think, and I suppose medical. I don't honestly know how much work is into researching it and curing it, but I'm sure we're not doing as much as we should do.
When you hear the phrase mental health issues, what comes to mind?
Things like depression, anxiety.
So, what do you think if someone says that they are depressed?
That they're obviously feeling very down and they need to get some help. Because quite often people who are depressed feel very isolated and like it's just them who've got to deal with it on their own.
So, with that in mind, what do you think depression is?
Extreme sadness, inability to do the things that you normally do, or just not enjoying the things that you used to enjoy doing.
Oh, isn't that typical? Can I ask, when you hear the phrase mental health issues, what comes to mind?
With it being something that's actually paramount within my family at the moment, it is a big concern for me as to what other people's opinions of mental health, because there is still this stigma out there, and where it's not, it's not a mental health issue. It's not something that can be seen by other people. Therefore, I think to me, it really annoys me is because a lot of mental health people classed as being lazy. Where if you've got a physical problem, it's seen, a plaster on your leg or anything like that, you can't put a plaster on your mind. So really, yeah, it is a big problem with me.
Do you think it's getting easier to be open and talk about mental health issues?
A little bit, yes, but I think that stigma is still there, yes.
What do you think when you hear the term mental health issues?
I think about people who are mentally disturbed, shouldn't be out in society, should be in hospitals, I think.
When you hear the phrase mental health issues, what comes to mind?
Things like depression and anxiety and like people who are suffering from them.
What do you think it means when someone says they have anxiety issues?
That sometimes they can't deal with like large groups of people. It makes them nervous and anxious, but it's not always that. It can be other things as well.
What do you think if someone says they are depressed?
They have depression, which doesn't mean necessarily that they're always sad. It just means that they have a chemical imbalance in their brain that means they can't always deal with emotions in the same way normal people can.
Have you or anyone you know ever experienced any mental health issues?
Yeah, my mum's schizophrenic, so yeah.
So you know firsthand what that means?
Yeah, it's quite scary and it's not good when people use mental health terms in like everyday situations, like, oh, I'm really depressed today. Like, that's not how it works.
What do you think when you hear the phrase mental health issues?
Anything from depression right through to serious issues that impact on people's day-to-day life.
Okay, and so you mentioned depression.
Yeah.
What do you think when you hear the term depression?
People who find it difficult to cope with the normal situations they confront in their lives.
What about anxiety? What comes to mind when you hear the term anxiety?
Well, my wife suffers from anxiety, and I know it's an irrational concern about things that she would normally be able to cope with.
Can you name a mental health hospital in Newcastle?
No, because I live in Newcastle, which is Scotland. Sorry.
That's it.
Mental health, when I say mental health, it's like when people have not like a problem that they can't see, and like obviously it takes a bit harder to get like over the problem rather than a physical problem.
Yeah.
Is that alright?
Yeah.
I don't know, like sorry, I'm just panicking.
That's alright. But yeah, that's because we're just after genuine responses.
Yeah.
So when you hear the term depression, what do you think?
Oh, I kind of suffer from that a bit myself, so it's like basically you can't explain how you feel. It just makes you feel so sad inside. Like I suffer from that quite a bit. It's kind of, it feels like complete isolation.
Do you think enough is being done for mental health?
No. I feel like more stuff might need to be done, like help. That's my opinion.
That's excellent. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
That's brilliant.
Remember, 1 in 4 of us experience mental health issues at some point. 1 in 4. So it could be you or someone you know. It's very important to raise awareness of mental health issues and how it affects daily lives. Remember that.